Hello, and welcome to another match of the Settlers for World Championship. Today, it's the game for the third place. We're playing Lemon versus SF Jessen. Although I'm starting to be a little bit concerned about the game actually running. Okay, Lemon against SF Jessen, game 1. As the red Roman in the bottom left side, we have Lemon against the blue Trojan, Jessen in the top right side. Yeah, this is the match for third place. This will still be best of 3, only the final is best of 5. So, yeah, first game out of 3, out of potential 3 games. And we are on a map that is put into the pool by the World Championship champion title holder Slayer. Lots of mountain towards the front. Like all the mountain is orientated towards the front. We have 2 stone fields. Forest en masse towards the back. The forest also isn't towards the mountain, which is pretty nice. This is a small starting stone field. River through the forest is really bad for... I mean, it's the best for the Mayans. They can deal with it the best. I think Trojans are then like second best, especially considering that you have the sea right next to you, so you can just build your fishes all here and just ignore the river entirely. And with that knowledge, I am disliking the fact that we do not see any lumberjacks and foresters up here to the right. What is this? This looks like it's way too dense. Like, are these, like what are these buildings? All small buildings that look like they could be foresters or lumberjacks, but really closely packed together. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. Yeah, other than that, we have... yeah, not really even any late game stone fields. The desert for any Mayan players would be way out of the way. So I think, yeah, I'm playing Trojan here, fair enough. In general, playing civilizations here, all of them, like besides Mayans, I think all of them are fine to play. You have enough mountain for Trojans. You have Romans are never bad. And Vikings are like the thing that's like... Actually, you can predict the river go down, so Vikings are probably always a bad option here. You never have lots of river. And the other option is... and then you have also the issue that the river is always bad. You could be lucky that your forest isn't inside the river. But if your forest isn't inside the river, it's probably in front of the mountain. Just down to the left, it's still kind of in your way. Like, you could still be unlucky. The river going a little bit more that way. Yeah. Definitely Vikings wouldn't be an option here. The Romans, Trojans. What we are seeing is what I'd suggest people to pick. Regarding the matchup, today we have Jessen against Lemon. I feel like this is a very even matchup in terms of just player strength. I'm suspecting that Lemon has the upper hand when he plays Romans, for sure. I feel like that on that civ he tends to just be better than pretty much all rounds I'm seeing by Jessen. Now, after that, after the Roman pick we're seeing here in game 1, I'm very interested to see how he'll fare with Mayans or a potential third civilization, as there I see Jessen's I see Jessen having the upper hand. Besides that, both players seem to be struggling with the forest so far. Yeah, this is not even close to what I'd call an optimal forest build up. Especially since you just don't need the river. You can literally ignore it. You have the sea right next to you anyways. Just build lots of foresters and lumberjacks all over the place here. You don't need the space. There's nothing that keeps you from just trying to be as fast as possible there. We saw only 2 stonecutters for the beginning, but considering how bad the forest buildup is, that is totally fine. Here we only saw 2 for the start as well. Third being added, but similar thing, forest buildup on the worse side of things. We have a forest here, we'll have forest here. And I assume he's gonna try cutting these trees and these trees to fill in the river with as much buildings as possible. I think even as Romans here, you should have realized that you don't need fishes on the river whatsoever. And although you might not want to sacrifice it completely, you can still sacrifice most of it, as you don't need that many waterworks early, and later on you can still replace the forest you have here with waterworks when you're going into your grain farm expansion, like shortly before peacetime or after peacetime, depending on what kind of build you're playing. Yeah, we've seen all the 2 sawmills, and I assume we see iron. Is that iron smelter? Medium house? I don't know. I'm expecting the 3rd sawmill to finish before he goes into anything like that. So I assume that probably is just a house, and I'm surprised. So I assume the terrain here was really bad in that area. But leaving out that much space feels not the best play, but in the end it's the Romans who do indeed not need that much space overall. Let's see over Jessen's side. Seems like he is putting a sunflower farm in this area. I feel like this might just barely not be enough space here for the whole working radius to be free, but it should definitely be fun. Especially as he will presumably crush that medium house later down the line. Yeah, we see iron smelter just finished. Woolsmith missing probably a plank or 2. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I think that these 2 stone will actually be enough already. So the toolsmith finishing already before the 8-minute mark. Now, you're kidding me. 1 singular resource is missing. It's not finishing before the 8-minute mark. It is this plank. The builders are still... Oh no. All of them left right before the plank arrived, but 1 single builder who's carrying really hard right now. Yeah. Still very good toolsmith timing. We see that I think he has too much wood right now, because it looks like there's 1 singular resource that was put in there. Although we see stone go up there already, so this might have been stone as well, that he just mismanaged, didn't have prior for it. But yeah, we'll see stonecutters being added relatively soon. Ping probably talking about A, nice building space, and B, coal? I don't know. Okay, let's have a look at the mountain. We just saw him place an iron mine and a coal mine. Let's see on Lemon's side. This iron mine, this coal mine. Probably the best you can get. Yeah. Iron smelter finished up already as well. Toolsmith, similar thing. Also a resource missing towards the end. Maybe even 2. But here we are now seeing the first tools being produced. 1 stone arrived. Is that enough? I would again say that yes, it should be enough. But last time I said it, I was scammed. Oh. didn't get scammed. It was indeed enough. Toolsmith finished. So far, so good. I don't think any of the starts have been tremendous. I was talking that this forest could have been built up quicker and especially more time efficient. Oh, yeah, like efficient towards the late game, because I think these forests all don't have too much space to actually get their trees planted. Another forester being added down here with 2 lumberjacks. Like, this is really... It works. But we're seeing that the sawmills are pretty dry. They are missing the logs they'd like to see. And I assume stone is the resource overflowing here the most. Is this stone in the large house? Please don't tell me there's a thing up, like, the resource he's mostly missing right now in there, because this large house should not be finished this early. You do not need a large house yet. You'll just gain like 65 settlers, and what are you gonna do with 65 settlers in the early game? Just sit around? Do nothing? Question from chat here. If I'm expecting a rush from the Trojans here. I do think that... so Trojans don't have to rush. They can play late game. Depending on how many stone mines we see on this mountain, I would even say that a late game isn't a bad option to play. But I do know Jessen good enough now, especially after watching him in the other tournament games. He kind of always goes in at peacetime and tends to play for kind of rush, as he himself always plays a little smaller builds and doesn't really expect him to compete in the long game against all the other players. Yeah, now the large house actually fully finished. That you could have finished one medium house, built lots of buildings. You don't need 65 settlers right now. You don't even need any settlers, to be fair. Really dislike the large house being that early. Because now he will just have like a lot of settlers for quite a while, and slow down his beginning in that period where he built the large house, because it took so many resources, but you don't really get the payoff as the settlers aren't needed for a while. The medium house or small houses would have been way cheaper, would have been the settlers you needed, and you could have been more focused on getting more sawmills running, more stone cutters running, whatever you are looking for in that moment. Right now we are only on 7 stone cutters with 3 sawmills. First large house already, first few planks are going towards the first sunflower farms. Very... Either it's gonna be a really small build, like he might only add like 1/4 sawmill and isn't really expanding his... I don't know, it's a little weird how he's playing this so far. We'll see how this continues. He just is... maybe this is an active decision of only being on 2 stone fields, trying to be as efficient as possible with your stone as early, trying to build large houses as early, trying to be... just not have a huge sawmill count at the beginning as well, so that you can get into some heavy industry early and have the buildings you want run early and for a long time. Let's have a look back at the Roman, at Lemon. The mines are now finishing up. I think like Jessen's mines are already just, yeah, not quite in time to keep everything fully working, but it's very short downtime. While on the other side, I feel like this downtime should be a little longer. And we already see that the iron smelter doesn't work anymore. The toolsmith will stop working after that tool, as the coal is not properly split here. Yeah, the mines did finish. The food is being brought over. So I think the downtime is actually pretty much the exact same. Because the toolsmith from Lemon did stand a little later, as the mines do as well. Very similar delayed timing for both building, for both players. This is a sawmill, okay. For a second I was confused what he was building there. Okay, we're seeing the first few grain farms being digged. No large houses, as it's usually the case. The river mostly cleared. He could pre-place a few more buildings in here. Building down there, I assume. A little bit surprised that he placed another lock pane here, whatever you don't call it. As I would have expected him to keep a little bit more space on this river, but he probably realized that he doesn't actually need all that much river, as he can just use the coast for his fishes. I mean, we have 5 sawmills? I was about to say, I think we're on 4 sawmills right now. And the wood is now coming up for more, but 5 sawmills on this, I feel like is a little much. 2, 4, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, I mean, yeah, having the 5th sawmill early isn't bad, because that just makes sure that every log you produce will be a plank very shortly after you have a very steady wood income. I would still say that 5 sawmills on 12 woodcutters wouldn't be a nice ratio, but he's adding it anyway, so yeah. Makes sure every lock is being used as fast as possible. Has been able to tower relatively nicely around the stone field, so that he has it fully conquered, gets his tower in there. Now let's have a look how this has been going for Jessen. Jessen also got a tower in between here. It's like one thing that Romans tend to be really good at, and others have struggled with, getting towers into these smaller areas between mountains, stone fields, forests, whatever it shall be. But yeah, Jessen also got through here relatively nicely, without any significant issues. Only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is a tower in this area would have been nice. Like, instead of building this lumberjack as early as he did, have a tower there earlier and then, yeah, conquer the land back here, get the nice fisher spots. They won't really be running through the forest, as gold mines will be, or mines will be mostly in this area. Actually, with this mountain up there as well. So it's kind of right behind the forest, but you won't really get around that too well. Nonetheless, you also want to conquer the stone. A second large house already building. We see the 4th sawmill now really late. It was really late. Instead, we now have 4 sunflower farms already built, which 2 of them already produce sunflowers, which means once this large temple is finished, you can already go build a battery. That is nice. For sure. He's already digging across the mountain. And with that said, this is gonna be a PT rush. There is no way he's wanting to play that game with 4 sawmills, with like build up at this speed. Like, the 4th was pretty late. And yeah, 4 sunflower farms already now. Like, this just screams to me a PT rush. Like, now he really just has to build a battery and heavy industry. And not forget settlers, and then he should have sold it. On the other side, first grain farms, so first farms, if you think about the comparison, are only now finishing up, while the sunflower farms already produced the first few sunflowers. There was no micro with these of the size. Actually, there's one sieve running with a scythe, and that thief just dropped it. Ah, yeah, there's another one over there, so yeah. Maybe he did actually micro them. Yeah, all three are actually relatively close, although this one finished significantly later. Yeah, he did micro it, just not as early as you could have and probably would have or should have done it. To really make sure they are standing right in front of the building when it's finished up. But still increase the speed of them working a tad bit. We are now at 6 sawmills with the wood that was being added up there. I think now up to 16. Yeah, 16 lumberjacks. Yeah. Should be running, just barely. Probably gonna add like a lumberjack to cut down some. Yeah, I mean, all of the lumberjacks have forests with them. So this definitely will run. I was thinking of some that are actually cutting down forests, trying to remove them off the map. But since he doesn't have any of those, all the forest lumberjacks will be running nice and smoothly all the time. I mean, I say all the time right now. This one has, or these have a little bit of a longer walk, but that will be like the time of them having those longer walks will be over relatively soon. Ooh, a stone mine was added. Let's have a look on the other side. Would be there. The stone mine, it's not a double stone mine, but it's a stone mine, and building a stone mine early on these, like, I wouldn't say it's it's not a one stone field position, but you still don't have lots of stones, so yeah, building an early stone mine definitely a reasonable play. We see the battery here plays relatively in a relatively good spot. I think technically placing it somewhere here would be a little bit nicer of a position. But I mean, that kind of depends on where you're gonna have most of your mines. Are they talking about how good that coal mine is that was based? Shouldn't be terrible. There's a gold smelter. I think only now starting to smelt the gold. Yeah, I mean, we're getting gold ore as well. Gold bars either are, yeah, we already see one is done and being carried over. Maybe there's gonna be a second one relatively shortly after, already there. But if not, yeah, that one is being picked up and brought over. Large temple can now actually be built. Right now, oh! Very delayed 5th sawmill. I am quite surprised about that. Also, a 3rd large house. Actually, okay, the 3rd large house makes sense since he didn't build that many like small or medium houses before building the 1st large house. So what I, in my gameplay, usually envision as the 1st large house here is more what his 2nd large house was. So it makes sense that he builds the 3rd one before actually finishing the battery. But yeah, large temple is being built, battery has started building. And yeah, 5th sawmill, I think only on the 2, 4, 6, 8. What? 8, 10, 12. 12 lumberjacks. I like that there are 12 lumberjacks, but I think way more forests than what you usually need for that 2, 4. Yeah. No, it's the exact amount you usually need, but they're just placed all over the place, and I don't understand how this is. I think these just aren't working perfectly. But yeah, even with Yeah, we've only 2 extra lumberjacks being added so far. Yeah, he has logs piled up, so the 5th sawmill should actually be able to start working relatively smoothly. But he should add a few more lumberjacks, especially considering that I can't imagine all of these running nicely. I think these lower ones here all work perfectly fine, but these upper 3 are carrying me a little bit of the efficiency. Battery is being built. Did that before. And he's now fully across the mountain. On the other side, Lemon has been a little bit slower at work here. Still not quite finished getting across the mountain. I think all grain farms now finished up. Animal Ranch, first one as the first grain is being gathered. First grain being brought over. Is there waterwork? Waterworks are there as well. Yep. Animal Ranch also actually working. And yeah, we're seeing vineyards. I'm wondering if these are actually 3 vineyards all right next to each other, or if there's like a building that it disguises itself as a vineyard. Mill, and actually it's 2 animal ranches, 2 mills. So this should be a smooth finish of the food production chain. See the small temples for the 3 vineyards being pre-placed. Whatever these buildings are up top there also exist. Medium houses to not get in a settlers shortage. Maybe those are bakeries, because I haven't counted how many bakeries there are placed in other spots. Yeah, and then he'll go into heavy industry in this area. I'm only wondering about the barracks positioning here for him. I don't see a clear barracks position for myself here. Probably inside some of these stone fields somewhere, maybe. Keeping this area initially for heavy industry. Maybe he'll place his barracks in this area and try to get heavy industry in the stone fields. Yeah, but since the second stone field should be going away relatively soon as well, as you only have those 2, I assume that this will be space used for barracks / heavy industry. And that should work out relatively nicely as well. I want to do a little bit of a checkup on the mountain here. Any mines that particularly stick out. What sticks out to me so far is that we don't have a single double iron mine. I think the coal situation isn't looking amazing, but yeah, once you're across the mountain here in this area, coal mines are there enough for sure. I think the gold situation is fine-ish so far. Yeah, it's one of the maps where you don't have like lots of gold early. You don't need it. There's enough gold towards the back parts of the mountain here. And with that being said, the gold towards the back parts of the mountain will also, or should be reached relatively quickly, as both players want to cross the mountain relatively fast. They are towering at the bottom of the mountain, and they are also trying to get this 2-tile mountain here at top as well relatively soon. And yeah, as they should. Right now I think the geologists are lacking a bit here for Jessen. For 8-9. Yeah, only 9 geologists I am not a big fan of. As we can see, there's plenty of space up here that he didn't look at yet. He didn't look at in there, and only space he has where he can tower towards, which is already discovered what mines there are. This space, like only this space, it's not that much, and in the meantime he already has mountain in his land that he has 0 clue about what's in there. And yeah, we can kind of see that the logs on the sawmills are running out, but he has added, like, this lumberjack finish up will be already started working actually, and I think this will also be one with that. I think the log income should be secured, unless this forest really isn't running as good as he wants it to. But as I said, I feel like only a few will not be running that nicely, so probably overall should be fine. Those are like 3 gifts, right? Maybe only 2, but it looks like a lot of gifts. Looks like he's in a tool shortage, because he didn't, like, since he casted... Okay, now he has, in the statistics here, he has enough mana to cast the food spell on the mines. Doesn't do it yet. I think Settlers should be fine. I mean, he had, 3 large houses before the thingy finished. But decided to go for some gifts. The thing I'm actively surprised right now by, very much surprised. I was saying it really looks like a PT rush to me. It can still be a PT rush, and I mean, Jessen tends to still play PT rushes no matter what he does. Or just kind of like at least wants to be aggressive at PT. We see 2 more sunflower farms being added. With 3 barracks, 4 storages, I think is what I'm seeing here as a consolation. Already 2 weaponsmiths, 4 gold smelters. Issue though is mines that are... Oh, I said he didn't do his first food spray, he already did it. I mean, saying that his first food spray would only be at 31 minutes, when he went really early everything, would also be very sad. And yeah, he already is getting... he already had food on the mine, so he definitely did a cast before that already. As we can see, there is coal available. Coal was brought over. It's not quite as much as you'd want to see as early as possible here. But I think the mines should probably be enough. 6 mines. We need 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6 mines should be fine. For what's standing right now, at least. But yeah, nice early heavy industry timing. It now revolves around just keeping it running, as always. Which isn't the easiest thing to do on this map, with only 2 stone fields. And I think the stone mine situation here, you can build all of these, you can build that, you can build that. This is probably stone mine. Yeah, it's like, since it's 2 stone fields, you don't need the stone mines as early as possible. Like right now, if it was 1 stone field, you see how almost dead the stone field is already, and he even built stone cutters here at the bottom. He'd be way out of stone if he didn't already have like 4 or 5 stone mines, if not more. So yeah, late game, or at least rest of PT stone should be secured as long as he builds the stone mines. There's no real other option as Trojans anyways. Now what I'm gonna be interested to see is how Lemon will be handling the stone situation on his side. He has the difficulty that he technically can do fish to stone, but also could do stone mines. And lots of Romans they're like kind of doing both. They don't really commit into one of the 2, and then they don't do both of them good enough, and then they kind of fall into a stone shortage. That's what many Romans tend to kind of do. or have like other issues. Fish storage and a settlers shortage is really hard to get full. But if your settlers shortage is because you don't have stone, it's like you get into the stone shortage one or the settlers shortage ones, and you're just dead. Very volatile. I mean, getting your bread onto the stone mines also kind of not, I mean, isn't the nicest thing to do in a settlers shortage, but usually like your gold ore, you can't see it fully here on the left right now because it's behind the overlay. Let me quickly show that on stream. Let's see. Yeah. If we have a look here, we can see that like gold will be carried or won't be carried, mana won't be carried, or your weapons won't be carried, and like even water, grain, flour. So your bread is like, it should always go through. While fish, if we look at that, it's like right behind bread. But the issue with fish is that you need to carry a lot of fish to your stone storage for it to be worth to convert it to stone, and that then can be the issue that you kind of like all of these things already won't be carried, and you then have like a few bits of fish that are carried, but not all the fish. That then can sometimes be the issue. Put that back. Yeah, we see that the small temples are finished and the full food chain is finished as well, and an 8th grain farm being added. I feel like seeing an 8th, we should also be seeing a 9th, as 8 doesn't sound like the best ratio. I am very disliking this barracks placement, considering how early it's placed. He starts a heavy industry. Ah, no. Right now he's still building more like settlers. Yeah, so his heavy industry will be standing around here, and then yeah. And it's not too bad. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was thinking, like in the case I would have disliked it a lot, would have been the case where he starts to build the heavy industry already in this area, had his diggers run over to build storages over here, and then later down the line have the settlers run over the entire time, and you kind of like artificially increase your settlers you need, you increase the diggers you need in that time frame as well, which you don't have to. You could, like, if you're gonna build the barracks back there, you could just place one single storage like close to your heavy industry for the beginning, and yeah, then build that, get like your gold bars, your weapons, and that storage for now, and then expand when you are expanding your heavy industry into this area. Only then you're kind of getting a digger over to dig your storage over there. And it really is just 8 grain farms. You have the like 6, 7, 8. He did add a 3rd mill. He had like grain stored up. No. Doesn't have any significant amounts of grain stored up. Otherwise I would have said, okay, if you have grain stored up, I can see why you'd only build an 8th. But I assume he wants to have just a tiny bit more bread production for stone mine or 2. They said kind of doing both stone versions. I mean, he also still has a stone field. And 4 fishes, like he's not gonna store fish for quite a bit of time. He technically has the mana to easily be playing stone to fish. I'm just gonna have to see if the Fisher coastline will start happening at some point. Also, one thing to note here is like he kind of like keeps a gap in between the fishes. As Roman, you kind of can do it because the Roman fishes are actually so small that you can place them so close together that they cannibalize each other relatively quickly. But I just wanted to mention that on random maps, this coast here is full of fish. You have like every single tile, I think, is fully filled with fish, and it's like even further back than what your fishes can even reach. Your fishes have 3 range. They can fish up to 3 tiles away from the coast. So yeah. We see some gifts here. I don't think that is mostly running in this area. No, I don't. So he got lots of wood, but I think what he would have preferred to get out of it would have been more like pickaxes and hammers, and those definitely at least didn't come out in abundance. I have no clue what this thing is supposed to mean, like the other casters. But yeah, you could definitely place the fishes closer together, especially with other civilizations. Putting them right next to each other on the coast isn't really hurting them. Rivers aren't as fully stacked. They aren't 3 tile deep. Like your fisher won't be able to go as deep into it. So on rivers, it's not a nice thing to do, but on the coast you kind of really can just put them right next to each other. Now I can see kind of doing it with the early fishes, not putting them right next to each other, but once he's gonna go into fish to stone, if he does, he definitely should consider trying to get more fishes close together. Yeah, Jessen already producing lots of weapons and gold bars. Or not just is producing, but also has produced. We are at 5 weaponsmiths, sorry, almost 6. Iron smelters seem to be standing for it. We are on like almost 6 iron smelters. Almost 7 weaponsmiths. I think the gold smelters are significantly lacking right now to at least keep the gold bar weapon ratio up and running. We only have 9 gold smelters. Yeah, I mean, it's not severely lacking, but it is lacking. I'm a little bit concerned about settlers. I hear so much heavy industry standing, and so far it seems he only built 4 large houses, and this is still running. He has only about 300 settlers. I think what he is experiencing is the advantage of casting so instantaneously the food on his mines that not all the food of the mines is being carried the moment you cast a spell, but it's actually carried away slowly. And then he just has a really nice settlers efficiency, especially as the distances here weren't too long, I should say, because they are starting to now get longer. That's why I was saying like having it more in this area would technically be slightly better, because I just felt like you'd have most of your mines here, and here, and this is more late game spots similar to like here or here would be. And then you have like towards the late game spots you have the same distance, and you have all the close spots the same distance. Right now the spots where he places most of the mines in this area are quite a bit away. Now we also gotta say he probably would have placed more mines up here if there was a singular coal mine in this area. That's also very unlucky. His gold storage is empty, his gold ore storage, and he kind of has to start recruiting soon, if not already should start recruiting. So the next large house did just finish, and he didn't yet cast more food. So yeah, right now his settler situation is how I called it. Now it's not just thin, he is essentially in a settler shortage. He can't cast food on his spells, and he can't be recruiting, and not has to do both. Recruiting, I think he actually kind of has to do, because otherwise he's gonna have too much, doesn't have storage space anymore very, very soon. And if he doesn't start recruiting, the other option would be starting another storage, which hurts settlers in the long run. So that's kind of like where the settlers are lacking. He doesn't have to cast it right now, I feel like. But he might have to, considering that he's built so much heavy industry already. Like, I was talking about the 7 weaponsmiths. I think it increased to 8 even already, so he's at 8 weaponsmiths minute 45. That is actually insane. Do you have the iron smelters for it? 2. We have 2, we have 4, we have 6, we have 8. It should be enough. I don't need quite as many iron smelters as you have weaponsmiths and toolsmiths. Losing it by 1 at this point is fair. Gold smelters aren't quite there. Like, he would need like more like 17 gold smelters at this point. Probably even 18, I think. Since you want to build some beautifications as well, you want to more go up to like 19 probably, if not even 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 15, 30. 14 gold smelters. It's not way too little. But yeah, it's lots of heavy industry. That's what my original point was about to be. And he might, like, I'm not gonna count all the mines and do the math, but I feel like he might need the mines that have finished up and don't have food. Is it bread? Yeah, bread is beautiful. Stone mine doesn't have bread right now. Stonefield is about to run out. Yeah, none of the stone mines have bread. This is a situation where I'm a little bit scared for his food. He did produce 3 tier 3 swords and tier 3 bowmen for the large tower that he pre-placed here, I assume. Yeah, recruiting at least a few weapons. Now the barracks finishing up essentially was more storage space being added. And I think we're starting to see already the coal shortage, or like mine food shortage, come into play on the gold smelters here. And we're also seeing that the gold smelters, while I say coal shortage, like sure they don't have coal, but in reality they don't have gold either, so it doesn't really matter that they don't have coal. Now, is gold... what's lacking for the gold? I think it's fish. It might also be mines, but... wait. Yeah, I've seen only 2 mines with a single fish on them. Let's see how many fishes there are. Yeah, 4 fishes aren't enough. He has way more gold mines than 8. And 1 fisher on 2 mines is, like, that works guaranteed. You don't, like, you can kind of save up. I think it's more like 2.5 mines-ish a fisher can handle. But, like, river fishes kind of get bad relatively quickly, so... I personally always go with a 2-to-1 ratio. Maybe lacking a little bit behind with the fishes. Missing out on like 1 or 2, or like them just being added later. Here, mines are pink that don't have all orders was failed pink, because 4 pinks so quickly in a row kinda seems odd to me. Yeah, we're seeing more and more soldiers being recruited. He did start another storage, but the issue, the settlers, it hasn't changed. We're seeing stone being an issue kind of as well. And now the settlement goes downhill. I'd say the stone being an issue, I think it's diggers. Efficiency is the bigger issue here. We don't see that. Yeah, we see like lots of buildings that just aren't digged, and few buildings that are digged that want resources. They're getting the resource. Rough. Okay, Jessen still didn't look into a 7-2 battery, and therefore now builds 2 very early grain farms. Let's place the waterwork for it. I assume the mill and the 2 bakeries. Doesn't change his settlers issue. I think, did this large house just produce a settler? No. This was, I think, the last finished house, but it's not producing. 5. Okay, no. And it's just this. The medium house. I mean, the settlers are standing. But he would like to recruit more soldiers right now, and he would like to cast food. Especially as now all the mines that had food are empty, at least the bread mines. Okay. Let's have a look at this disaster that is about to brew in a bit again. In the meantime, what happened on Lemon's side? So let's have soldier-wise, they are right now very even, but Jessen is like 100 weapons ahead. He technically has a really good weapon, really good gold bar count here. For this time, he could go easily up to 250, if not even more, if his economy was actually continuously running. And on Lemon's side, we see that everything is quite a lot delayed. He has quite a lot less weapons, gold bars, and has therefore at least a little bit of combat mana that he could use. His stone fields are both seeming to be entirely gone, pretty much entirely gone. Settlers are fine at least. We have 1, 2 stone mines, a fisher amount that does not suffice for fish to stone. What is his plan? So one player struggles with settlers. I mean, settlers are standing, but he has food. He has to recruit. Like, this is not enough. One player has a settlers shortage. One player, and the other player is gonna have an insane stone shortage. These 2 stone mines both weren't like double stone mines, they're just fully normal working stone mines. And 2 stone mines on, I hope it's only 6 sawmills. Nope, it's 7. Who would have thought that he adds a 7th sawmill, as always. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. The 7 sawmills will run full and overflow with thanks. And I so far... Oh! I like how I'm the caster. I have full map vision. I am completely unaware the stone field A existed and B that Lemon is already on it. And also Jessen. Jessen isn't even nearly as close to the stone shortage I was saying would come from not casting often enough. I am talking complete bullshit. Now, it's not complete bullshit. I do think that Lemon does not have enough stone with 2 stone mines and 3 stone cutters. He isn't on the stone field quick enough. But it's not as bad as I thought it'd be. Is this stone bugged maybe? We've only 1 stone cutter here. And the dude isn't running over. Other option would be that the working area is like set to here or something. And barely doesn't reach the stone. Looks a little odd. This stone doesn't seem to be bugged yet. It's gonna be picked up very shortly. We already see a ferry that was at least being placed, but also built. It is Porsto. Yes, inside we see that he didn't really conquer much coast and has to build fishers. But he built fishers over here. Nice spot to place fishers. They don't have a long distance to walk. Oh, like the settlers don't have a long distance to walk for the fish to bring it to the gold mines. A watchtower, nice. Jessen seems to be just a bit quicker here with the mountain expansion, but Lemon is also towering here on the backside of the 2-tile mountain. Yeah, but it's useless. The gold mines are back up here, and those gold mines Jessen would have. I know it's gold mines on the backside, so Jessen kind of accidental power play. Ooh. An actual double iron mine. I think it's still the only one I saw. Actually, there's one here towards the middle as well. Yeah, it's mostly. I want to place one on there. Ooh, flag? Or was it safe? Yeah, on the axis there are double iron mines, but you won't gonna get them until 1 hour 15, where you could then actually send a pioneer over there. Ooh, another one. Mountain is giving. This 1-tile mountain is a dream for your iron mines. I would like to see a tower over there. Double iron mines also help you to keep your bread-meat ratio in check. Okay, yeah, large house is here finished, medium house is finished. He produced quite a lot of settlers, has settlers standing. He did manage to cast, I think, twice by now. I think from the food count, must at least be twice, maybe already 3 times. Bread from the bakeries is gonna be added soon. Once settler enters here. And then the settlers bring over the grain. This is unfortunate. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that a settler from wherever decided to become that person working in the mill. And now the grain will have the same issue of taking forever to be brought over, as settlers presumably come mostly from up here. Yeah, so far I think this is looking a lot better than it was looking before. He placed lots of medium, small, like he did good crisis management, I feel like. He didn't cast as it's the correct way to do. He built lots of like small, medium houses. He only had the large houses he already placed finish up. And with that is now in a way better spot in terms of settlers. Still would need a few more settlers to recruit all of his weapons. But those settlers currently are standing, and he would also appreciate the food. We do see that it did hurt his heavy industry working a lot. Yeah, I think the iron bar situation actually is totally fine, what it seems. You see multiple iron bars on every single weaponsmith. Issue that is more actively presented to us here is the coal on the iron smelters. So this iron bar overflow won't stay that way for long. Now he did, like, he is getting his core back up. Oh, hello, fellow thieves. He is getting his core back up and running, so it should... I feel like it probably stays clean. At least the weaponsmiths will stay running. And the gold smelters, I mean, those were like fully dry of coal just a bit ago, but even they are gonna be picking up production again, and therefore should be way fine again. Oh, we have a thief here, seeing if he might have scouted any of Lemon's barracks. And what I'm witnessing here is stone shortage, which leads into a settlers shortage, which leads into a catastrophe. Nope. I don't see any standing settlers. He did recruit most, but not all of his soldiers. He has, like, peacetime is over now. He has 136 mana, but Jessen also kept a little bit of mana available to him, around 100. And soldiers, right now, everything is tier 3 on both players' side, but 2 soldiers actually. With, what is this? 40, 30, 70. 70 soldier advantage for Jessen. And Jessen is running forward. You can rely on Jessen rushing. And gosh dang, unfortunate. Why all of the bowmen have to take specifically this path through the medium house, I think, and the gold mine is a mystery to me. But pathfinding just do be that stupid, unfortunately. Yeah, the 2 Cs that were hanging out down here did move and probably die, because we did just hear a little bit of combat music. We see a beautification set being built by Jessen. With, yeah, 104 combat power for both players right now. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I just... I think it's received that down here. We see the first warship being made by... Oh, that's a high value warship. Ooh, interesting. Lemon is wanting to stress a bit. Jessen has a few swordsmen that he is holding back against it. So that seems to be fine. And not having the swords at home when being attacked will hurt. Stonefield is fully conquered. Yeah, there's nothing really to lose here. Areas where it would have or could have hurt would be more in this area, or maybe this area if you want to really late game. This whole area. Maybe the back, because you can't expand. But towards the front, most of the expansion has happened for both players. Jessen is starting to gather his soldiers. Now pulling the swords forward. It's kind of ignoring... Ah, no, he isn't ignoring it. He sent units to deal with it. Funnily enough, I think these bowmen would have lost. I think it's just a few, like, I don't know, it's like 10 swords probably, and like 15 bowmen, and I think 10 swords just win against 15 bowmen. Yeah, Jessen currently still 100 soldier advantage, but 23 of that is tier 2. And it starts to become more and more tier 2 as the gold is diminishing? Depleting. I found it. Sorry. Gold is depleting. But yeah. Lemon still in a huge settlers shortage. Settlers shortage. Stone. Not that much shortage. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. What's missing on the buildings is the stone. But he at least has now a relatively good stone income. 3 stone mines. Yep. 4 stone mines and then 7 stone cutters is a decent stone income. You can't be mad about that. Issue is he still has all of these gold bars and weapons to recruit. And he only now starts to have settlers again. He doesn't really have many settlers. He didn't store anything. He has gold. He's heavy industry that's pushing up. Like right now he's on 2, 4, 6, 7. Actually 7 weaponsmiths, not that bad. They probably didn't work the entire time. Let's have a look at like 80 weapon. Yeah, he should be able to catch up in terms of soldiers, and once Lemon caught up with soldiers, is in a really good position because he has mana. He has combat mana available in like plenty, and Jessen doesn't have combat mana available as plenty. We see, yeah, exactly. He cast it again. As we can see on the mines here that the red is lacking on the core mines a bit. Heavy industries running, heavy industries working. Did he add even more weaponsmiths? You don't have that many sunflower farms and you're not gonna be able to add a crazy amount either. Well, actually, he already has 2 grain farms and he has like 8 I think up here. These are the 4. I mean that will be then 6, 8, 10. Yeah, then he has down there. Actually, might be working. He might go into a little bit of a long game here. You've 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9. Okay, I thought there was like 1 less standing in this area, so I was thinking that he already went up to 10. I think he could actually go up to 10. And if he really wants, I think go up to 10, and then once he's at like, probably like 16-ish sunflower farms, like he's adding a few grain farms as well, a few more. Once it is at those kind of numbers, I feel like he could then also add a bit of, go up to like 12 weaponsmiths. But yeah, we have 12 weaponsmiths running, 9 weaponsmiths running against 7. Actually, there have been more finished up, so probably around 9 now as well. I think it was 7 up here. These are 6, 7, no, actually 8. Yeah, 9 for 1. Won't finish up with that stone, is it? No, actually. Won't finish up. Yeah, 8 against 9 weaponsmiths. Trojan weaponsmiths are faster. We have a little bit of a weapon production advantage on Jessen's side. But Lemon has 3 vineyards running. He doesn't play stone to iron. Stone to stone. Oh, what? Oh, fish to stone. That's where I got it wrong. So yeah, the stone, the mana income will be flowing, will be smooth. Everything nice about it. You see now that Lemon also started producing a few tier 2 soldiers and is fully out of the settlers shortage. Yeah, and with that the stone shortage is still existing. He still right now has more buildings that have planks in them. But not stone than you'd like to see. Ooh, there's beef up there. Yeah, Lemon is building medics. Medics have the advantage of being really good in like this kind of combat line. Amazing. In general, if you're fighting inside a land and you have combat lines where you'd stack quite a lot of soldiers behind each other. You have like 4 or 5 bowmen stacking behind each other, if not even more. Having medics behind it is way better, as they can actually fight from the back lines by healing. So really nice in a situation where the combat lines aren't as widespread, where you aren't able to have only 2 to 3 standing behind each other, and you get them more clumped, like especially in this kind of area. More soldiers we get, if like 1,000 soldiers against 1,000 soldiers here, one player could have like 300 medics and would be out trading the enemy by a mile. A reason why I think Gessen should probably try to make progress relatively soon. I mean, they both don't have 109, like Lemon doesn't have 107 defensive and Gessen doesn't have 119 offensive, so it's only one tick difference. Maybe pushing for like a 132 would be kind of a play here. You at least want to have 119 before doing anything, and do we see the thingy that I wouldn't know how it would be called? Actually, can I see it here? No, doesn't show me a name for the object. But yeah, I don't think I see a big water spitting beautification object anywhere in the settlement here. Might just be missing it. But that would explain why he still isn't at 119, as full beautification set with 1,700 resources should bring you to 119 for sure. Ah. Ooh. I just saw a message in chat and was like, what are they talking about? As Jessen was asking if he'd be allowed to tower further here. And yeah, as of right now, he isn't allowed to tower further. But that's a huge tower. This is destroying half of Lemon's stone income, essentially. He's not building more stone mines, but what is he gonna feed them? He gonna feed them nothing? Because that's what it seems right now. Does he not have any? Oh, since he doesn't have stone, he doesn't have ammunition. Yeah, only now he made 8 ammunition. We have 16 shots on this warship. Made a war machine. Is in the middle of making one, currently missing iron bars. Inputting it. And yeah. Now, he isn't allowed to tower here until 1 hour 15. But once it is 1 hour 15, he is allowed to tower further. I'm not even sure if a tower that would be built now would even actually do anything. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the script actually is good enough to even block that. It's like it's somehow possible that you can't build a tower yourself, but if you conquer it, it actually captures land, which was like the thing that initially when this script came up, people were very sad about that. A tower you conquered in the enemy land now didn't actually crush anything, which felt really bad. Like, it didn't actually conquer land, and only you got the tower and that's it. And that's really just at that point, like, why even go on a sniping tour trying to hit some expanding towers here in the back, trying to do some economy damage because the enemy wasn't looking. No, it would have been completely useless to do anything. Warship is on the move, as there are fishes to be killed. Fishes that are laying full. Is there a settler shortage again? Oh, there looks to be a settler shortage. Ooh. No way, these are diggers. How many settlers are there? No, 819 settlers for Lemon. This settlement does not need 819 settlers. Here we have more than 100 standing around. I mean, he is building all over the place, so it's not like he doesn't need any of them. 600 of them he guaranteed needs, and being at like 700, I can see, and 800 is just because he overbuilt after the settlers shortage, so it doesn't make sense to be at 800. Yeah, 550 for this settlement, not even close to enough, not even close. He needs 700 as well. Especially considering that he actively does not have settlers, isn't recruiting, and he isn't casting food spell. We see sunflowers stacking. Yeah, no, he needs 700, like 700 settlers to get out. Once he, oh, a fight is appearing to happen. 107 against 107. This is a good fight for Lemon, as the soldier advantage by now disappeared for Jessen. The combat line so far has been better for Lemon as well, and Lemon has medics behind it. Lemon has more combat mana. There is nothing currently that is in favor of Jessen, because he doesn't have the 119, as I do think he just kind of forgot like 1 or 2 beautifications. And now we see a shield here, the medics here, they are doing their job. The combat line, we kind of like here have technically like a concave, but then there are 2 mines that Lemon is standing inside. This circular form here is a little better for Jessen, and now that will add value. Getting the soldiers in here into that, yeah, that Lemon crushed the gold mine. Fair enough. And Lemon is trying to nullify the usage of that mana there at the top by pulling back. Still helped Jessen a little bit. Oh, Jessen just... Why did you use the peacemaking spell there, not on any of the shields? There's so many shields in this fight. It would have been such a high value play. And now, right now, we're seeing that so far the trade has been very even. Oh, convert. I feel like you want to wait with the converts just a little bit more. Like right now the line isn't actually that thin. Could convert like 2 or 3 times in a row here on the very edge. I feel like that would be a play. But converting kind of in the middle there is a bit meh. In the end, the mana carries. The mana gives Lemon the win here for sure. He starts to pull ahead in the soldier count. Oh, the swordsmen, if they wait just a little longer, I feel like they could be high value swordsmen. Mana right now is completely out for Lemon. So Lemon has used all of his mana. Oh, yeah, that was the last cast, I'm pretty sure. The swordsman went in this, but now they're stuck behind their own bowmen. Is he gonna hold them forward? Or what's he gonna do with the bows, with the swords? Or hold them backwards? Do anything? 2 swordsmen went through, but they went invis. They just died. A priest died. The micro. Where are the swords? Where are they gonna pop out? We had 1 sword just pop out behind the enemy line. Another sword pop out. What's happening? Did the invisible swordsman just disappear without me noticing? Oh, they have managed to appear somewhere. And they are gonna trade... Okay. I mean, they will be tanking for their bowmen. They will be damaging. There's nothing bad about these. Yeah, right now, Jessen is winning the right side here. Just barely. Lemon did pull his swordsman from down here, now over as well. To kind of even out this bottom flank. This here should be pulling back. There's nothing to gain from fighting 2 to 10. So clearing up there. Right now, let's have a quick look. So he fixes settlers shortage. I think he pauses heavy industry? No. He paused everything else? What did he do that he has so many settlers standing, but nothing is doing anything? It feels like he's paused everything, but I don't see a single build. Did he like put coal? I think he paused coal. Like he didn't pause the coal mines, he paused the settlers bringing coal to heavy industry buildings. But he didn't have recruiting on. And that's the reason why you would have wanted to do that. To be recruiting soldiers while this fight is happening so that you can win it. Your reinforcements are coming. Now we see... Okay, Jessen is towering here at the top. Isn't not towering here at the bottom. I mean, we see the war machines. I'm pretty sure they do not have any ammunition. I'd be very surprised if they did have any ammunition, so they don't matter. Technically, saboteurs are allowed, but they aren't coming either right now. Yeah. So pretty much what we're witnessing here is that Jessen apparently paid as much attention to his settlement during this fight as we did, which seems to be not at all. He had the houses he built beforehand finished, and that's kind of it. On the other side, Lemon, we see, has added multiple grain farms all over the place. Probably mostly for bread production, but right now we're still seeing that bread essentially does not exist as a resource here. Neither does meat. We do see that coal is still available on every heavy industry building I can see here. Iron ore is not, iron bars are still, gold ore is also thin. Yeah, Jessen is now actively producing, is pumping out soldiers. I really want to emphasize, he's really pumping out the soldiers now, as he is recruiting all the stuff he had in storage. And I think he had the better economy, if not for the settlers shortage, and especially if he kind of managed his settlers during that fight a little bit better. He could have gained quite a lot of higher value. Wait, ping? Oh, it's down. Are they pinging a coal mine because they're talking about not too many coal mines being on this map? Maybe that's the case. I haven't paid too much attention to that. But... oh, wait, let me count coal mines. 3, 7, 10, 13, 14, 19, 20, 21, 22. He doesn't have, he has enough gold mines. They just didn't work. Think 1 or 2 more probably wouldn't hurt. Yeah, he's on 11 weaponsmiths now, I think. So yeah, then adding a few more doesn't hurt. Like but it's not gonna be the coal mine. The existence of coal mines won't be the issue. Now this is lovely. You always appreciate a few medics. Actually, it's Bowman Inting, but Bowman Inting is also something you like. A medic Inting is something you prefer even more. That's a unit you otherwise are not really able to kill lots. So Lemon doesn't like this engagement, which I understand. There were a few mines here being placed as just unfinished buildings. He was standing in lots of other actually built mines. Jessen was starting to build a concave. Jessen has the defender's advantage. Jessen has the quality advantage. And what's the combat power looking like? Okay, Lemon does actually now have the 119. I don't know if in the middle of the fight any combat power shenanigans happened. I sadly didn't pay attention to that. If it was 1-7 against 107 the entire fight long. Here we could see another situation of snow smelting. Right now the combat line seems to be just barely better for Jessen, but mostly because not all the soldiers are engaging from Lemon. Now Lemon's soldiers are actually fully engaging, and that makes his line look better. Mostly because Jessen is standing in the fissure here at the bottom, and also a little bit in his own coal mines. Now he did just do 2 peacemakings. Again, not on the shields, but this completely breaks his upper front, while at the bottom now, Lemon pulled enough soldiers forward there that Jessen is actually fighting behind the fissure. Issue though, the coal mines. Ruining your combat line. And also the snow here at the top, like this is a little bit wider as well, it seems to be. Actually here, bowmen ran out, swordsmen are running in at the top. Lots of bowman reinforcements. Here we have saboteur reinforcements, those are amazing, they do lots for your fight. Medics are trying to do their best. Kills, I think before the fight were somehow slightly ahead for Jessen. Now after the fight, going way further behind. And the soldiers are still lacking. Lacking. And with that, I think the fight seems to be very decided. There is no more settlers shortage or anything like that. We have a few soldiers go up there. Ooh, to handle saboteurs. You could use these soldiers. Lemon actually goes for another retreat here. I mean, yeah. He has more soldiers on the field. No. That are Jessen soldiers. Why is he so outnumbered here in this area? Like, this combat line is beautiful. Now the swords are carrying for Lemon quite a lot. Without the swords, he'd be losing this really hard. Without the medics, he'd be losing this really hard. But he has the swords, he has the medics. He isn't like, he's outnumbered in the bowmen, but he isn't actually outnumbered in full soldiers here. And then we see the combat power helping as well. Trade, so far very even, with Jessen just straight up having less soldiers. Oh, swordsmen from behind. It's... yeah, now the trade is not even anymore. No, Lemon is quite a bit ahead in the trade, in the soldiers. He has still the mana production that is designed for combat, while Jessen's mana production should be used for food spell again. And yeah, here we see the beautification object I was talking about that was missing for a really long time. He just had that ready at the first fight already. Would have probably been the difference. Now, is stacking gold bars as well? Well, I think Lemon is stacking weapons. Yeah, Lemon is stacking the weapons that Jessen is stacking gold bars with. Yeah, both of them not really having their heavy industry. You can say either under control, or you can say that Lemon just straight up has a gold ore issue. He just doesn't have the gold ore, that's it. But yeah, Jessen, I mean, is taking more and more damage. Like, he took settlement damage. Yeah, I mean, it's taking a bad trade. Lost mines. He's lost mines. He has lost fishes. Doesn't matter really because he lost the appropriate amount of mines to that as well. It's losing even more mines. The stone mine now giving it its bread to coal mines maybe. Is he wanting to play in the swords or just swords? I think just swords would be fine. I think swords, backpack, catapulters would be fine. I think, like, we have so low numbers, swordsmen are amazing. They're amazing invisible, they are amazing visible, they are amazing with backpack catapulters. This is just the numbers where swordsmen shine. They shine against medics quite a lot as well, because medics, like I was talking about, they can fight from the back rows, which bowmen can't. If you fight against swordsmen, you're fighting with multiple rows of bowmen anyways. Why would you have a medic in there that doesn't deal damage? Oh, like, the healing per second of a medic is less than the damage per second of a bowman. I say that? I'm not actually 100% sure about that. I wanna add that there. I'm very certain because medics have like a burst here. They can stack charges and then use all their charges of healing immediately, and then they have quite a lot of time before they get their next charge again. They have like lots of burst healing, which is really nice against the swordsman. But I'm pretty sure that also lots of the burst healing kind of gets lost in overheal a lot of the times. And I mean, the swordsmen, they just outstat bowmen by a mile, so it's not really helping them too much anyways. Burst heal is nice, but I still think another bowman actually adding DPS, adding a valuable HP amount as well, helps more than a medic who I think has the same amount of HP as like any other units that don't have HP. Like a tier 1 swordsman or something, they are like 100, I'm pretty sure. Well, not 100% sure. 3 tier 2 bowmen with... Oh, they have the 130 tick. And a 1 tier 3 bowman against 2 tier 3 with only 107. Oh, yeah, still 7. It seems to just not be enough soldiers though. Like he made a bunch of swordsmen, and I think he wants to make them invisible. And invisible, they can deal lots of damage in these against this army, like a lot. Don't tell me. You have 100 mana. You have 100 mana and you aren't casting food. Make them invisible if you're not gonna cast food. And why were they ulting? They just ignored the medic. Bowmen are coming in. Bowmen are clearing. Saboteurs. Saboteurs now actually dealing some damage against sunflower farms, which is huge. Less combat mana, less eco mana, less every mana, you know. Swordsman now would have a good opportunity to get in. He will eat like 3 converts, maybe only 2 converts with the mana count. He did convert before. Not quite sure of the exact cost of the convert, but it should be around 30, so I assume we're only gonna see 2 converts of these tier 3 swords. But at least I think there should be converts of the tier 3 swords. Maybe not that much in the middle, maybe try to... Actually, middle... if you convert in the middle, they are being surrounded. Oh, I think the piece... Swordsmen are just good units. And peacemaking is a good spell. That army just disappeared. The bowmen got like outnumbered Lemon's bowmen because the swordsmen took aggro of lots of bowmen. They took aggro of the swordsman, they took the mana, and then he could use the mana on the bowman. It was swordsman carrying the game here in this situation. Why is nothing coming here from Lemon? Main reason, gold bars. Gold bars do not exist on his in his settlement. Reason for that does not actually seem to be gold ore. It seems to be coal on the gold smelt. So now that's an issue. Coal on the iron smelters is an issue as well, because bread is an issue on every single mine in existence. Now, I looked at the economy a little bit earlier ago, like, I don't know, probably 10 minutes ago. Oh, random tower was sniped here in the back as well. I did not watch that. Random tower was sniped here as well. Amazing. How? How did this happen? Looks like a one thin, perfect pioneering. I don't know. Way, walk, whatever. Yesen, you sure about this? You are fighting against lots of tier 2 soldiers, but it's also lots of swordsmen, and I think you just lose this. Like, you're just outnumbered. And there are lots of swordsmen tanking. You don't have any mana there. I think if you should pull these bowmen forward and then fight like huge. What he should have done. Right now he gets Lemon to follow again. Turn around, turn around, turn around. These aren't following all the way. Turn around, turn around. He's not paying attention. He is not paying attention. Yes, settlers though. I'll just do a quick checkup on his economy. You're kidding me. You are kidding me. This is right now, right here, 24 coal in these two buildings that is not being used. Because you don't have a single coal on the weaponsmiths. I think somebody is using the thing where you can manage the ratio of the coal distribution, and I think he's using it a little bit too actively, taking quite a lot of poor decisions. He has so many settlers now that it will never be lacking. It will never be the settlers that are lacking here. He has 4. Oh, this got killed by a saboteur or by warship? By a saboteur. A few sneaky saboteurs. Where is the warship? Is it just the one that was sitting there at the... Yeah. So it went forward, maybe shot a building or two, and went backwards. Yeah, Lemon did now recruit most of the... Yeah, not all of the weapons. Gold bars now. Yeah, Yesen has gold bars for hundreds of weapons. At least if his gold smelters keep running, which I feel like they should. He has bread on the mines. This is a game, I feel like this reminds me of my own game against Evergrey. My Trojan game. Different unit composition, different enemy civilization. Quite a different scenario, but the thing of like, Yesen didn't have to do too many things better in his settlement to just have the numbers, to just be able to play this straight up fight and just be winning. It isn't that far away from that. Few decisions in the settlement, just done a little better, he would have had like no settler shortage, no coal shortage on everything, kind of thing, like. And he would have been able to keep it running, to keep it calm, to just have more soldiers and have the soldiers he needed. I like that Yesen is still trying to always do some distracting maneuvers. He's still trying to tower at the top. He could be towering at the bottom, but he just doesn't want to. The swordsman there, but you could clear it easily. You could even build a tower, have your swords, like put your swords like here. Then sure, that swordsman will capture the tower, or might not capture it actually. But your swordsman will kill the swordsman. Like that way you don't give the enemy an alarm. Killing that swordsman that, oh, here's action, there's action down there. Maybe I should ready myself for it. Jessen is again making swordsman, I like that. And he has the quality advantage for sure. He has the quality advantage, he has the... Yeah, but now he has a combat power disadvantage that is probably not... because so... 130 is the combat power tick for the tier 2 bowman, and 132 is the combat power tick for the tier 3 bowman. This is... it's just optimal combat power, essentially. Swordsmen have so many ticks that you usually never care about them. Especially not when you combine them with other units. Because the other units deal less damage and they will kind of like round up the like 1 damage you would have maybe needed to do the kill. That's the other unit then doing it for you. This especially comes in play with backpack catapult, so you just looking at swordsman takes completely useless, and even looking at the weaker backpack catapult sticks is very unnecessary. 1 tier 3 bowman against 2 tier 2 bowmen with medics behind the tier 2 bowman. A tier 3 bowman is just gonna die, and that one too, and that one too. Because medics are just that good. Now a fight is gonna start, and swordsmen are starting to end up front a bit. Tank for the bowman. No, it's not ulting, he just had medics run in front of his army. A little bit unfortunate. Now Jessen is taking the engage. He is a little bit late to taking it. I mean, the combat line is fine. Oh. Oh, yeah, there were converts apparently as well. I was just checking. Yeah, even more. Oh! That's why I wasn't finding them. They were invisible, the swords. That makes more sense. And peacemaking. Just barely hanging on with the last teeth. Like it's... And now he gets some weapons again that he can recruit as tier 3 soldiers. Because he has that much gold. And I mean, the swordsman did take a good trade. In terms of trading, he is still even, fighting every single fight with less units. Maybe not the first one. No, I think even the first one he had less at that point. Defender's advantage, plus he wasn't producing. It's just the settlement. If he just had a few more soldiers overall, he could have easily handled this, but is missing the soldiers. It also doesn't hurt. It also doesn't help that he had like 70 soldiers back here. He still has 80 soldiers on the field, 90 soldiers. They're all back. Barracks. Warship actually doing work now. Healing the grain farm. The building that keeps bread running. Actually, right now, could be more, could be more. I think Lemon is about to seal the deal here. Gonna go for just a bit longer. As we see, I think the last fight, maybe second to last fight, yeah. Lemon is pulling out to pull back in, to pull out, pull back in, or what is he doing? Pulling out at the bottom, pulling out here. Staying up there, which, I mean, yeah, not a bad trade, you know? You definitely have the better combat line here than Jessen does. And he wanted to get Jessen more into his own buildings there, maybe get some more reinforcements ready. Yeah. Yeah, Lemon trying to get out of this even more, while Jessen is just following into his own building. These swordsmen probably don't want to go in and just let them die. Okay, these swordsmen will also die. On the other side we have a weapons, no, iron smelter that is crushed into better common line. You know, these tier 3 swordsmen won't have huge value. They will run in. They won't really be overkilled. They tank with their 210 HP. That's it. They didn't do damage. 210 HP, more than a bowman. But the bowman would have also done damage. And with that, I think this is sealed deal. As there's not much more coming from Jessen. We're way too deep in enemy's land. Mana is still producing for Lemon. I think Lemon by now probably has an economy that is same size. No, I think he didn't actually increase the amount of weaponsmiths, so still technically he has a little less weapon production if everything was to be running, which Jessen struggled with the entire game long. Oh, a few more peacemakings came in. So Jessen doesn't quite want to see to give up. But I mean, look at these reinforcements that are coming in here. We have a steady stream of units against a steady lose of units. Again, kills right now. He's 30 kills behind. That isn't bad. That isn't bad whatsoever for fighting in your own land. Literally ages. But yeah, it won't be quite enough. It won't be quite enough. He's losing his coast. Gonna lose more of it. Just these fishes. Like, where's this fish at? Okay. Yeah, actually, fish is totally fine. But where are his soldiers at? He has just enough to fight at his own barracks against the steady stream of reinforcements. I just don't have words, you know? We're watching a fight. It looks even in terms of soldiers fighting. But one player has mana and one player has steady reinforcements. And the other player is in his own land with not as steady reinforcements. He's making being the best way of gaining weapons for him right now. Removing enemy soldiers, making them into weapons that you then can recruit yourself. This is a total mess. At this point, I'm not sure who has more soldiers in this specific area. Yeah, no, I just don't. I wanted to start an I think, but I just don't know. I think that, yeah, I think Lemon is barely gonna hold this. Jessen is barely gonna hold this. With like all of these bowmen there, I mean, they're kind of stuck. But yeah, peacemaking, the heavy industry, like right now is running. We see iron bars, we see coal, we see iron ore, we see coal, we see coal, we don't see gold ore, but who needs gold ore if you have 3 storages of gold bars, or it's more like 2? Yeah, and I know there's nothing else brewing either, like we see soldiers back here, but like, Yessen has 60 soldiers. These are 60 soldiers. There might be a few here and there. Let's have a check. Oh no. I think there are like a few scattered around here and there. But yeah, no. These all of soldiers. It's like only 40 tier 3 that he has on the and the 40 tier 3 he has on the He's pushing it back one more time. He took a good trade one more time. Trading even in your own land is amazing. But trading even in your own land while you lose your economy. There are worse things. But it's not amazing. I mean, Yessen has... at this point he lost heavy industry, so maybe he doesn't have more running heavy industry anymore. Combat mana is used by both players. Yessen would have needed a food spare instead of that last peacemaking there. As we do not see any food on the mines right now. And right now the heavy industry is working. It's gonna be for a few more... like 2 or 3 more minutes, but that's the latest point where you would need that food, and you need the food a little bit earlier to keep it running, kind of thing. Yeah, he's losing heavy industry now. That really hurts. But he's pushing it out. Yeah, it really reminds me of my game against Evergrey. Like, I myself, in that game, as the player, always thought the game is gonna be over, and like, next fight I lose and the game is over, next fight I lose and the game is over, next fight I lose and the game is over. I always thought that. And I just didn't lose the fight I was thinking that would be game over. And I just stayed in the game, and this is very similar. It's like always the defender's advantage. It goes all the way back to Yessen's barracks, and Yessen just pulls a rabbit out of his head and just says, "Yep, I have soldiers again," you know? It's like, it's my settlement. This is the place where I have soldiers. You don't. You have 100 soldiers walking right now. I have 100 soldiers fighting. And that's what we're seeing right now. There are more soldiers by Yessen here. Yessen has a few swordsmen coming in here who will be doing pretty well. Like, that dude got two attacks off. That dude just died. Things are how they are, but these 4 swordsmen, we're gonna have 3 that actually get attacks off, and not that little either. We have a huge bowman concave on the enemy bowman. The priests are running now. I mean, the units were shielded, but what do your shields help you if you just are outnumbered like crazy? All medics have died by now. Soldiers are even. Pretty much. Only 30 soldiers that Lemon is at. I'd say he's only 30 soldiers at, but he did some economy damage as well. He is 700 resources used ahead of Yessen. What did he build? What did he build? Houses. It's 90% houses. He did not expand his heavy industry. We are on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 weaponsmiths. I think that's it. He is building an 11th. He has vineyards. 4, 6. No, that's a weaponsmith. 7, 8, 9. He has quite a few vineyards. So that is something that actually is giving him value and an advantage kind of thing. Jessen on the other side, I mean, maybe he would have actually built more stuff, would have been in similar resource areas, but I mean, he's losing large houses. He did lose this, he did lose his mountain, he did lose his heavy industry. He probably would be at like 2,400 by now, for sure. Like, considering he would build more buildings, he would actually have the buildings he lost. Would be way better situation. Right now, heavy industry is still running. Production still going. I think gold bars are now actually running out. It seems to be either gold smelter issue. I mean, he did so many peacemaking. He really used the weapons from the peacemaking so actively. Ooh, that's a lot of tier 3 swords. Those are quite a few as well. Few inting bowmen. At trade, I'm just looking at the trade again. It is currently 10 ahead for Lemon still. He has 20 soldiers more. Actually, more like 10. 15. Let's go to the middle. Dang. Game just doesn't want to end. Isn't has lost so many mines by now? Like this is economy damage that I feel like you can't just be like, oh yeah, I don't care, I didn't lose anything, you know? He built his heavy industry back up in the back. But like, he doesn't have mines running. Is one thing, he doesn't have the mines that are running. Because he just doesn't have food. Oh, nice. One meat was brought there, immediately eaten. Another meat was brought there, immediately eaten. No. Not immediately eaten. Where did he just get that meat from? Like, he didn't cast food. Oh wait, actually there's a fight real quick. How are we gonna see this pro? Ooh, Jessen baiting Lemon into a mine wall. Overstacking against the swordsman. Good place by Jessen here, wanting to take a good fight in his own land again, as he did so many times before already. Like this fight, you have less combat power, but who cares if the enemy bowmen just don't fight? There aren't any significant amount of medics behind this. The mana is being saved to maybe use against swordsmen, which I understand, that is usually the better play. Now issue is this very upper part here, like Jessen's line is a little too thin there, and it actually looks relatively good for Lemon. Lemon did use his mana here at the bottom against the swordsman, converting most of these, and now these swordsmen won't actually take the most amazing trade against the rest of the bowmen there. Jessen could now build like a kind of mine wall in this area and like realign his line. He killed most of the swords. I think the trade was very even, and one player used mana, the other didn't, so it's kind of a better situation for Jessen. That fight definitely wasn't that bad. Biggest issue right now is gonna be that he's pulling back, and it's gonna take a few more hits. But once he's pulled back, he's gonna get closer to his own soldiers again, to his own reinforcements, and can then kind of take a good fight again. I say that, but I feel like he might have turned around a tad bit early. I mean, enemy is standing in a coal mine, but look at this top part. He's okay. He's wanting to use more mana. That thing must be at max cost. Like, what is it? It's wait. What base cost is 40, and 2.5 would be 100. Should be at like the max 100 mana cost by now. I feel like. 100 mana for 14 dead soldiers and 14 weapons for your own. Like it's a defensive spell that is used very actively here and very efficiently so far as well. Swordsman dead, and with a bowman against bowman fight. Not no mana usage. We see one singular shield, and that shield is reason enough to pull back for Jessen, losing a few more units. But you would have lost that fight anyways. Understandable pullback. He doesn't yet have the weapons he got he got from the peacemaking and soldiers. Oh, and now he is running into a weapon overflow. Main reason being, Cole is more heavily focused on the weaponsmiths and iron smelters. Jessen riding, what would be the right, I guess, a draw? A draw question mark with a smiley face behind it in chat. Can't see it right now. Yeah, I mean, Lemon probably does not want to give up this game. He should be feeling like he is in the winning position. I think that was a food, but like we saw meat get here. Like there is no butcher, right? And there can't be that many hunters that we see that much meat. This waterwork is crazy. Yeah, we saw another food spur. Jessen could use like a 119 defensive. Lemon could have used a 144 offensive. It's the classic kind of thing. The game goes into action so early that like these kind of things, yes, they are not soldiers, but once you have that combat power tick, it helps you tremendously. Especially once you won the initial fight. Just chill, just build more combat power. You are the person ahead. You have the opportunity to invest into something bigger, more late game focus orientated. The enemy can't, because if the enemy does that, and you notice, like you see, oh, I don't know, soldiers, you can just kind of kill him because he just used 30 gold bars or is putting actively 30 gold bars into beautifications that are not yet finished, if not even more, if he needs like 2 sets. But yeah, just after the first fight, pushing for 144 would have been a pretty good play and probably would have secured him the victory way early. And it's also 144 is higher value than 132 is. These bowmen are trying their best. I mean, there's still settlers standing for both players. Heavy industries that... I mean, Lemon's heavy industry, I think... I haven't looked at Lemon's heavy industry enough in this game. Yeah, okay. Whew. Mines have food in abundance. We see that there was, I think, a little bit of an iron ore issue. That's why we fish on iron. Gold ore is lacking, but gold bars are there. That will change over time. And we see a bit of tier 2 by both players. Right now there's again a 50 soldier advantage for Lemon, as Jessen's heavy industry did kind of suffer under the lack of gold bars, specifically coal and... yeah, coal. Maybe gold smelters as well, but mostly coal. Like, only thing I can say is that maybe if the coal was there, the gold smelters would be lacking, but what I can tell for sure is that the coal is lacking. That's actually... oh, the fight, the 4 bowmen were clear. Are them weird mix of units to have on the sideline? Swordsman, bowmen, and medics. I can kind of see medics. I just kind of pulled units over there in general. As we again see here, some of these mines are being cleared by saboteurs. And Jessen is missing coal mines. At this point, he is missing coal mines actively. He just is not... like, it's not gonna happen. He's not gonna get out of this coal shortage. With the amount of coal mines. And to... like, there are plenty of coal mines in this area, I'm pretty sure. No, those are iron mines, but we see some coal spots he could be placing right now to get coal. He could replace some of these here. In these upper front ones you could have replaced. You could have placed stuff here. You could get this. There's plenty of coal available on the map for him. It's just that he doesn't have the mines actually built. Which... yeah. Keeps his gold smelters from running. Which keeps his barracks from running, essentially. Soldier production over the last few minutes has been lacking. One fix for this issue would also... actually, no, he plays against the Romans. I was wanting to advocate for backpack catapult to swordsman. Playing against Romans, switching into backpack catapulters now feels like a very bad play. You're just gonna lose all your backpack catapulters due to a few lightning spells, as the Roman Lemon didn't use many of them yet. I didn't pay too close attention, but he mostly shielded and converted so far. From what I've seen. It's crazy much. An absolute close game that... ooh. Lemon is actively towering forward here at the bottom. Even using this space. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, towering here. Where he has so many soldiers. Now he has like almost 100 soldiers more, and he has the quality advantage, he has the combat power advantage, he has the mana advantage. There's nothing that's bad for him. The only thing that's bad for him are the reinforcement paths. This is long. This is long as well. But this is short. And this is a mire. Not like you lose 100, maybe not quite 100. Like, depends on how much you're producing, how quickly. 50 soldiers minimum, up to 100, definitely possible, and even more if you have like gigantic industries. None of the players here have gigantic industries, so over 100 here won't be a thing of losing in reinforcements. Still, having 100 units in stuck in reinforcements, the enemy not. Could win you, could lose your fight. It's talking out of that perspective. Also, something that Lemon isn't utilizing too actively, but could, is just take a shit fight in a mine wall that Jessen plays. Like if you place mines here and doesn't build them, and wants to keep you stuck in them, just get saboteurs inside your army, because they will one-shot those foundations. They're like, they're not buildings. They aren't done. There are no resources to clear. It's just saying, nope, you don't build a building there anymore. That's all they do. Like here they actually take a few hits to clear these buildings. Every bit of damage is damage. And now I will start to actually go away from saying that the deal is sealed or anything like that, as I was using before. And I will just go towards this game is gonna be won by Lemon. That's not what I'm saying. It's a barn burner. Really close. Warship coming in again for another round. That technically could be some sort of crazy surprise. But practically, I'm gonna expect Lemon to win this game. Yeah. We see coal again on the gold smelters. Do we see some missing coal on some other buildings now? Did he... yeah. The iron smelters are not really missing coal, because they don't have much more iron ore available to them either. I mean, how many iron mines do we have? 2? Surely not, right? 3? 4? 5? 5 iron mines. Not a lot, not a lot. I feel like this will be going towards a peacemaking economy again, where he produces his weapons by using enemy weapons. It's a very effective way of getting your weapons, you know? Killing enemy soldiers and gaining your own. These swordsmen want to be pulled back, and he just took a tiny, small little trade there, then pulling back again. Not wanting to push. Oh. Excuse me. Game starts to actually kind of go long. Not wanting to push past the snow. I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm not really like yes, no, yeah. 2 days ago? Today is Wednesday or Thursday? Shit. I lost track of time. One of the 2 days. Okay, let me think about this. There's a simple way of understanding what day it would be. No, I don't get it. Anyways. Yesterday, 2 days ago, somewhere in that region, definitely not yesterday, 2 days or 3 days ago, I casted the game between Jessen and Slayer, the last match, and it kinda... There was a point where Slayer just played it really slowly and made sure he is gonna win. Made so sure that he's gonna win that there's literally no single way of him losing. He built towers towards the enemy front and all other things. He made sure he's not gonna be sniped, he's not gonna lose the front fight, he's not losing anything. And that really took the energy out of me in the cast at some point, because it's like I'm just waiting for the game to be over at this point. And here it's a very similar-ish story. Jessen is able to pull multiple rabbits out of the heads here. Or out of one head, who knows. But like this fight, for example... Oh, we saw some lightning. This fight, for example, again looks very much like one fight for Lemon. We see that soldier count-wise it was relatively even, but Lemon has more quality on the field. Oh, this peacemaking would have needed to be way earlier. Why, when the swordsman already cleared the entire flank? But yeah, we're seeing the huge concave, clearing everything. We have combat power. We have mana that, like, we saw single peacemaking. On the other side, we saw multiple converts. We saw, how's it called? A shield. Even though Jessen could technically do another peacemaking, it wouldn't really be worth it. His economy isn't running. Even if he was peacemaking, he doesn't have gold bars to recruit everything instantly how he used to. Yeah. Also, I think the swordsmen of Lemon were used significantly better, like really in his thin flank, while Jessen's swordsman kind of just went in and didn't do anything. Now here on the other side, we see that even here, Lemon has plenty of soldiers ready to deal with what Jessen is trying to achieve here. I didn't actually see that before that he had that many soldiers ready, because I used to see them like kind of here on the mountain, but then they kind of went away. He's now... Yeah, Jessen now here taking another fight. But he ain't gonna win it. You have offensive combat power, sure. But for how long? Your tower is finishing. And now you have defensive combat power. With less units. You just lose. That tower is crushed. That makes sense, you don't want to lose it. Not this tower that is crushed. That tower being crushed would mean an end to the game, mean an end to the suffering. Yeah, in the meantime, I think that was the ping earlier that we saw here. We see a little bit of an Animal Ranch expansion here. I have zero clue how many grain farms Lemon is at, but surely it's enough. I'm going quickly like kind of over the settlement. If you really care what the economic situation is on YouTube, like kinda, you could pause the video and see this though. We know what Jessen is saving the mana for. No, don't make him invisible there. Just sneak them past you slowly. Are there swords here? No, he could only convert swords. Does he have save towers? No, because who would need save? Oh, never mind. This is actually a pretty good save tower, I'd argue. Yeah, this is the spot from where he can walk in. There's a watchtower over there. Jessen knows, because Jessen and I were both there together when it was tested. Our invisible swordsman uncovered by a watchtower. Yeah. So he just took the invisible swords to be No, this is so sad. This won't work now, I think. Oh, he has this tower. This is the tower that Slayer essentially was building. It was like front towers that are close to your main army. You could have kept this tower then, for example, as well. But yeah, these swordsmen are not going to achieve anything. We already see many soldiers pulling in. He will have combat mana. Yeah, not going to achieve it. The way this would have achieved something is if he had the swords invisible, go from there to there. I personally wouldn't have made them invisible and really try to sneak them around one by one. Then walk in this area, just wait till there's land again. And then make them invisible here. You make them invisible here, the watchtower won't see them. The watchtower doesn't see invisible units. It won't give the enemy a notification. And then, oh, he even has a thief here. He could have walked back to see where the actual border is. He only knows where the tower is. And once the thief, sorry. And yeah, they would only once they get visible, they're seen. And from there, they could easily get to like here without being seen and only being seen by the minimap. But no, this is not gonna achieve something. I'll quickly have a check. Yeah, expected. He's making the two that he had mana-wise. Came in, swordsman went visible and died. Rest of the swordsman went visible and are gonna die. Not reaching the door. Jessen wrote GG in chat. With that, it's finally the end of this first match between Jessen and Lemon for third place. Like, this is for third place. It's the first match, best out of 3. I'm not sure when they're gonna play the second or third match yet. I think we might have a little bit of a hint to that in the interview itself. Yeah, right now it's... I mean... I think I've said enough about this game. Only few tiny things in this economy needed to go better, and he could have won the game. And I didn't pay enough attention to Lemon. I think that's the rest of the things I want to say. I didn't pay enough attention to Lemon as I'm not a Roman expert. Not even close to. I look at this Roman settlement and I realize I have zero clue what's going on. I only know that Lemon wasn't expanding like crazy, and Jessen didn't even really have to expand like crazy. He just needed to kind of keep it little bit more running. Little bit more running. He did manage to keep his mana income stable enough. Yeah, it's... Had more soldiers, more quality soldiers. He used combat mana like crazy, we saw it. And combat power just was the significant, was the part that was missing, mostly. Now with that, I'll go over to the interview that did not yet start. So I will, before I go over, scroll through the statistics here a bit, for anybody who cares. That's another starting interview. I'll be translating.
Ja, GG. Ja, spannendes Match, was ihr euch da geliefert habt. Habt ihr euch jetzt, ich weiß nicht, wann Lemon den Ausbruch gemacht hat aus seinem Land, aber seither habt ihr euch ja ununterbrochen ja, Duelle geliefert. Und ja, Lem, hast dann jetzt hier am Ende den längeren Atem bewiesen. Wie war das Spiel für dich? Bist du gut durchgeschwitzt?
A general question about how the game was for Lemon. Did he sweat a lot?
Jetzt kann ich spielen um Platz 3. Keine Ahnung, klar will man das gewinnen, aber ich hatte jetzt, war entspannt. Aber war natürlich auch sehr zäh jetzt das Game.
Lemon was relatively relaxed about
ich
it.
wollte es natürlich auch irgendwann dann zu Ende bringen.
Game for third place. Wants to win it, but
das ist
it's
wahrscheinlich nicht der allerschlauste Call.
not the thing he cares too much about.
Und da hat dann die Gier ein bisschen zugeschlagen.
Manchmal schnell spielen ist langsamste Spiel.
And he's talking about how it's like kinda now took a while and it kinda it's like kinda wanted like wasn't patient enough, was a bit greedy, and the greed yeah, not paying off, and the comment by Slayer was relatively fitting. Sometimes greedy playing sometimes playing fast is playing slow.
Man hätte ja davon ausgehen können, dass Jessen da schon 119 KK hat, kriegt die bessere Kampflinie. Und ja, es hat dann jetzt funktioniert, weil er eben Siedlermangel hatte und auch nicht die 119. Ja, hattest du darüber Info oder ein Gefühl, dass das nochmal eine gute Gelegenheit wird? Oder wie bist du da?
Okay, not talking about the first fight, why Lemon took it.
Den habe ich nicht gespottet. Ich habe ja gesehen, aber was Jessen da stehen hat. Und habe gerade die 107 defensiv getroffen. Und dachte mir, besser wird's jetzt nicht. Also ist nicht da drauf.
Yes, Lemon just thought he just hit his 107 defensive, just thought it wouldn't go better, and then he just went in from knowing how much Jessen had there. In the end, it only helped because of 119 combat power missing on Jessen's side and the reinforcements missing as the settlers shortage.
Stefan hat es eine ganze Menge mit Siedlermangel zu tun gehabt, das ganze Game über. Ja, wie ist es dir da VPT ergangen?
Schrecklich. Die Runde war absolute Vollkatastrophe vom
Ersten calls his own round a complete catastrophe.
Dann habe ich den Kohleregler nur auf Werke gestellt. Dann
Settlers
habe ich
shortage,
die Einstellungen sind nicht
redistribution of coal,
Dann, wo sie angelaufen ist, ist gleich der nächste Siedlermangel wieder gekommen.
getting it when he then
Ewiges Hin und Her.
turned it
Dann
back
habe ich
on the
endlich
coal
Ziere
properly.
platziert gehabt.
The settlers
Aber da war dann
shortage.
anscheinend irgendwie ein Baulimit und die letzten 3 Ziere sind nicht platziert.
Oh, the last 3 beautifications apparently weren't placed because he was at building limit, like once you're at a certain amount of buildings placed that aren't digged, you can't place more.
Ja, fühle ich auf jeden Fall. Und gerade als Trojaner mit ja, der Batterie-Eco, wenn man da nicht irgendwie in den Schritt reinkommt, um seine Eco dann noch wirklich mal zu stabilisieren, die nötige Menge an Sonnenblumenfarmen gebaut zu kriegen oder auch mal Brote dann an den Start zu kriegen, dann ja, leidet man mitunter so ein bisschen. Du hast dann auch extrem viel Kampfmana werfen müssen, um überhaupt erstmal zu überleben, um das Spiel über die Minute 90 hinaus zu befördern. Und ja, warst dann ökonomisch wirklich sehr angespannt. Hattest du das Gefühl, dass du dir das leisten konntest, oder waren das häufig auch so Desperation Fights, wo du dir gedacht hast, ich muss das jetzt machen, auch wenn
Question is, did Jessen feel like if he could have, if he had the mana to use for combat, Or if he only did it because he had to use it, not die.
Also ich glaube am Anfang ist es noch ganz gut gegangen mit Zaubern und Batterie bezaubern, aber am Ende
He's like-
war's
He
dann
says like both.
Und wenn ich den Kampf nicht gewinne, dann bringt mir der Nahrung.
Like in the beginning, he felt like it actually kind of worked out. He still had enough mana for his economy, but towards the end, it really
Vor allem hingekriegt hast,
He didn't have the
Stefan,
mana
ist mit
anymore.
deinen, mit deinen Schwertern, die irgendwann mal außen rumgelaufen sind und die bei Lem sowohl oben und unten Turm gesniped haben, dass du da, glaube ich, Lem ganz gut aus dem Konzept gebracht hattest, der dann auf einmal nicht mehr weiter expandiert hatte und auch nicht mehr seine Eco ausgebaut hatte und sich so ein bisschen mit dem, was er hatte, was vor allem auch was Steine anging und zu dem Zeitpunkt auch noch Nahrung gar nicht so viel war, sich dann so wie ein Igel in seiner Siedlung verschanzt hatte. Da jetzt an dich die Frage Lemon, hattest du
Genau.
super viel Angst,
The-
dass du da
the snipes of Lemon's Towers.
Du hast es aber auch nie geklärt.
Snipes of Lemon's Towers
Wie war da so die Lage?
kind of looked like disrupted him because he wasn't really expanding. I mean, I guess that's why I wasn't looking at a settlement, because there wasn't really anything happening.
Mal mehr Nahrung, mehr Schwerindustrie,
And now the question kind of goes towards him,
mehr Mana oder so an den Start zu bringen. Da
how
war
he felt about that. Like, why didn't he
des bereits Bestehenden.
try to manage
Vor allem
that part of the
wegen
settlement
den
anymore?
Schwertern, die dich hinten blockiert haben?
Why didn't he?
Nee, würde ich nicht sagen. Also klar, dass die Türme gefallen sind, hat mich wahrscheinlich schon ausgebremst am Bauplatz. Aber ich war ja so Stein GG, kurz nach PT oder um PT rum. Und dann
Okay.
hatte ich Kohleprobleme, weil ich die Steine hab laufen lassen.
His main answer is that he
Und
was
dann
so
war ich damit
stone ripped.
beschäftigt mit Kämpfen, mit Savos, mit irgendwie die Eco am Laufen halten, gute Fights.
He was
nehmen,
really stone
hast du nicht
ripped.
gesehen.
Then he was cold
Da
ripped
hatte ich
because he
dann
had
einfach
stone
nicht
mines
mehr Zeit,
running.
um da noch irgendwie Wälder zu roden, Türme
And-
zu nehmen und mich dann auch noch darum zu kümmern, die alle
And
zu
then he
bauen.
was fighting with the saboteurs and with everything else. He was just overall too distracted to really be
Ja.
expanding, get rid of forests in the back, get space and build buildings. Even headstone forward.
Weniger Aufmerksamkeit reinsteckt, man da auch eventuell ganz rausgepusht wird. Stefan war ja einmal auch ganz nah dran, da waren auch die Soldatenzahlen ziemlich nah beieinander, aber ich glaube, es war der Moment, wo dann der Kohleregler nicht bei den Waffenschmieden angekommen ist und dann auf einmal gar nichts mehr produziert
Genau.
wurde.
Genau. Da habe ich gesehen, jetzt habe ich endlich 900 Siedler Regler umgestellt und der hat die Einstellungen nicht übernommen.
Yeah. Yes, not having any coal on the weaponsmiths.
Ziemlich bitter in dem Sinne, weil ich glaube, du warst ja, also davor hattest du
When he
10
was about to get out.
Habt ihr in der Defense, Lem stand ja kurz vor seinen Kasernen und du kämpfst ihn dann bis fast zum Ausgang deines Landes wieder zurück, nur dass dann doch wieder die Puste ausging. Am Ende.
Ich glaube, wäre irgendeiner von den kleinen Fehlern nicht passiert, dann hätte es wieder kippen können, aber es waren einfach viel zu viele Fehler.
Ja, das kann man wohl so festhalten. Es war halt sehr.
Jason said the same thing. If any one of the small mistakes didn't happen, it could have been the difference. Exactly what I was saying. Like it's just a tiny bit more stable economy, and he could have actually made the victory.
Am Ende hast du dann jetzt auch mal einen Move mit unsichtbaren Schwertern gemacht. Hattest du überlegt, das vielleicht auch schon mal so, sagen wir mal, 30 Minuten eher zu machen, wo Lemon vielleicht noch nicht dieses ganze Land da unten getraut hatte? Denn ja, jetzt hatte er
Now
schon
it's about the
sehr
last
große
play
Zeit
by
gehabt
Jessen
dadurch.
with the Invisible Swordsman.
Ja, 30 Minuten wäre das vielleicht noch nicht der Fall gewesen. Und du hättest vielleicht mit einem
Question is like,
Zauber
if he
direkt
thought about it 30 minutes earlier already as well, because at that point it seemed to be a little bit better option as the
Ich habe es mir immer wieder überlegt.
less
gehabt, aber
land
nachdem immer so
conquered by
kleine
Lemon.
Kämpfe da in meinem Land waren, die dann teilweise gar nicht so schlecht ausgegangen sind für mich, habe ich die Soldaten halt dort gebraucht. Also ich habe ja immer wieder Schwerter eigentlich beiseite getan und wollte damit irgendwas machen, aber dann haben die
Hmm.
in den
Interesting.
Hauptkampf da auf
So Jessen said that
das dann reingepasst.
he always made some swordsmen
Ja, das habe ich ja auch erwähnt. Also das wäre halt
to maybe use them to go around.
so ein Move gewesen, wenn der halt nicht funktioniert, die Schwerter aufgeraucht werden, dann kannst du halt abreißen, weil dann verlierst du halt komplett im eigenen
But he realized, oh, he gets some good fights in his own hands, and then he needed the soldiers all there, used them all there, and the fights didn't go too bad. And if he would have used them in a different play, going to the barracks with them, using invisibility on them, and it wouldn't have worked, he would have straight up lost the game. It would have been over. He had no chance anymore to come back from that point anymore.
geendet. Lem hat unten getauert und oben getauert. Jetzt nochmal zurückgetauert. Es gab nochmal diese eine Sabo-Attacke von dir.
Ah, ja.
Jessen.
Ja, da.
Was war das?
So
Jetzt
sonst.
musst du uns mal erklären, was da der Grund war, warum du gedacht hast,
Ich habe halt
Asam
die
gesammelt hast.
Spitzhacken für die Sabe schon zu 1.10 gemacht, wo ich noch außerhalb vom Land war und wollte doch irgendwas damit machen. Aber
Ja, es war ja okay, aber wieso bist du erst durch die halbe Siedlung marschiert, um dann irgendwelche Billominen zu zerstören, die schon seit einer
Ich
Stunde
war-
arbeiten? Oder seit eineinhalb?
Okay, there apparently was a saboteur attack where Jessen made pickaxes at like 1 minute 10 already, where 1 hour 10, where he was out of his land.
Ja,
And
oben hat er gerade
then he
die
just had them and wanted to
reingebaut
use them, and
und das-
apparently he altered past lots of buildings,
Schwerter stehen.
and then just like cleared some random mines.
War da auch gerade da.
Nee, da war der Minen nicht. Also bist
Also
halt da
Lem
sehr weit
war da zu
runtergelaufen.
dem Zeitpunkt weit entfernt mit seinen
Ja, ja.
Truppen. Also jetzt schon die nördliche Siedlung.
And now they're discussing about how that could have been better, but I have zero clue,
Ja, trotzdem verlieren in der Zeit.
since I didn't see that moment of exactly what they're talking about. Unfortunately.
Aber zumindest kannst du mal ein bisschen Mental Damage wieder machen bei Lem.
Das war so ein bisschen.
A little bit of mental damage by them, yeah.
Die 3 Minen
Oft
zerstören,
wenn's
30
dann-
Trappers oder was das war. Dann
18.
ja, irgendwie so. Und dann alle auf einen Schlag zu verlieren. Und dann ein paar Minuten später hast du die ganzen Schwerter da oben geparkt, um da irgendwie reinzutauern. Verlierst währenddessen auch den Hauptkampf. Kriegst den Turm zwar dann besetzt, aber hast halt dann den schlechten Fight, weil du dann wieder quasi im
Oh, so I think it was the saboteurs that I actually saw, but
weggekehrt.
like at the like, I think it's the very end where we saw the fight at the top. Like lots of swordsmen were gathered at the top to the tower. Then he got the tower, but had a bad fight against so many units of Lemon. And I think right before that, he had the saboteur play apparently at the exact top, because it's now mentioned that he, like right after that, gathered all the swordsmen there.
Argus.
Used it as saboteurs right before. Also, ich habe die eine natürliche Frage. Warum hast du dich gegen Schwerter Rucksäcke komplett entschieden in dem gesamten Game über?
Weil irgendwie alles so eng war und Kämpfe hauptsächlich am Berg stattgefunden
I
haben.
ask
und
why he
da ist es immer schwierig, wenn der Gegner dann.
didn't use swords and backpack catapults whatsoever the entire game long. And his
wenn der
answer.
Gegner da Minen platziert und dir die Kampflinie mit den Schwertern, Rucksäcken kaputt macht.
Also, du warst ungefähr eine Stunde im eigenen Land jetzt, Jessen.
Jetzt am Ende, ja.
Okay. Habt ihr die ganze Zeit auf offener Fläche gekämpft? Also,
Ja.
das war so der Zeitpunkt, wo du langsam so am Rauspushen warst. Wenn du da mit Schwerter Rucksäcken anfängst umzustellen.
Genau, als die Unit Numbers klein waren, da sind die Schwerter eh geil. Dann werden dir halt ein paar Rucksäcke weggeblitzt, aber die Schwerter sind so oder so geil.
Das stimmt, ja. Hab ich
Und dann machst
Ja,
du
er hat
gar
keine
nicht
Konter-Unit,
mehr-
ne? Also er kann
Genau.
nichts gegen die Schwerter machen, außer
Ja.
konverten halt.
Genau, und dann
Schwerter.
kannst du machst einfach vielleicht nicht T3 Rucksäcke, dann tun die Blitze nicht ganz so sehr weh, machst T2 Rucksäcke ein paar, machst primär T3 Schwertis, die T3 Schwertis ballern übelst, weil es kleine Numbers sind, die T2 Rucksäcke haben auch noch Value.
Wäre vermutlich besser gewesen, ja, habe ich gar nicht mehr im Radar gehabt am Ende.
Und wenn du dann im Gegnerland bist, bringst du Saboteure mit, dann kann er keine Minenwand bauen, weil die Saboteure die Minenwand one-hitten. Und dann kannst du auch immer noch auf Bogenschützen umsteigen, aber das ist halt in diesem anfänglichen Bergbereich des Landes kannst du immer noch gut arbeiten. Okay, I just explained lots of things why swords and backpack catapults would have been relatively good.
Dass man Fisch auch umwandeln kann. Du hast den ja ewig erst verwandeln lassen.
So, to really get over
Dann
that,
auf Eisen geben, weil du
he
kannst-
didn't really feel like
dann ist er wieder vollgelaufen.
using them
Dann
because
hast du irgendwann gedacht, doch,
in Milan, Mine War
wieder
could have
mit
been
Steinen
like in your way, like
dann hast du die mit Fisch laufen.
the area
War das so, hat's einfach keinen
to
Bock.
use wasn't that open, and that's why he didn't really use it. And he just didn't really think about it in his own land, where we just said it could have been really valuable, especially as he doesn't have anything good against the swords and the numbers were low already anyways.
Hatte, als mein Eisen abgekackt ist, habe ich
Mhm.
auch gesehen, okay, ich kann Fisch drauf regeln und da
Now the question
keine
is
Ahnung, lag der Fokus nicht drauf.
why Lemon
Ich hab
didn't
nicht
think
auf
about
dem Schirm
using
gehabt, dass ich
fish to
anscheinend so
stone.
viel Fisch im Land habe.
Ja,
Und,
also die lagen halt die ganze Zeit voll. Also
ja.
und auch wieder recht schnell wieder voll.
Mhm.
Das hat mich dann auch ein bisschen
Interesting.
gewundert, weil du hast
So
halt
Slayer
so
put out the
wenig
point that
Schwert.
apparently the fishes were laying full the entire time, and Lemon just straight up
am
wasn't
Ende war
using
ich
the
angeblich auf
fish.
7 sogar. Aber
And
Okay.
he
Ja, aber sagen wir mal, also mindestens 5 weiß ich. Und bei deiner Schwerindustrie auf 11 Waffenschmieden, da
could have used the fish, destroy it, turn it into stone.
War ja auch nicht viel da.
and he instead used the fish in the end for the iron mines, which wasn't bad, but before that
hatte ich
apparently there
nicht
was
auf dem Schirm.
already
Ich
an
dachte, da hatte ich einen
opportunity.
Fisch über. Keine
Doch,
Ahnung, vielleicht hatte ich es
doch.
doch. Okay.
Ja, die ganze Zeit eigentlich.
Aber
Ja, das war schon belastend, weil
Apparently-
ich habe mal geschaut und es ist mir aufgefallen, du hast wirklich nur eine einzige Steinmine gehabt, die an war. Das war die doppelte.
Apparently he
Zwei
he just
schlecht
didn't
arbeitende
really
Steinminen.
notice.
Das war so dein einziger Steinkampf für 30 Minuten.
Ja.
Und
Especially in
ja,
the
dann,
time where he had
ja,
like
kannst du
only the
nicht
2
auf
stone
Holz
mines
machen
and
und rechtzeitig
2
alles
stone
so
cutters,
Häuser bauen.
being his own stone
Habe ich zu
income.
spät geschaltet, dass ich den Fisch
Ja,
über habe.
only
Und wo
stone.
ich dann gemerkt habe, okay, ich habe den
Ja.
Fisch über und habe auf Steinminen gestellt, da hatte ich auch keine Steinprobleme mehr, hatte eh genug
Oh,
Nahrung.
apparently he put fish on
Und dann dachte ich
stone
mir auch,
at
das
some
ist
point.
überflüssig.
Fish on stone is
Ja,
less
war auf jeden
fish on
Fall
stone mines is
sehr
less
unterhaltsames
less
Match,
efficient
das
than
ihr
fish to
hier
stone in
geliefert
terms of
habt. Und ja,
the
irgendwie
fish
jetzt
to
hier
stone ratio.
mit
You use some mana for
einer
fish to stone, of course,
vermeintlichen
but it's very
Main-Ziel
minimal. I
mit
think
1-0
max
in
costs
Führung
of it is
ist jetzt
4
aber
mana.
irgendwo den
Very minimal.
zweiten
For like
Match
48
herzaubern.
stone or something.
Also
It's crazy.
wird nicht leicht werden. Ich stelle mir durchaus vor, dass ihr euch noch in ein Game 3 reinbewegen werdet. Habt ihr denn schon einen weiteren Termin in
Now the
Aussicht
question
für
of
euer zweites Game erstmal?
time and
Wir
date.
hatten morgen
of the next
Abend
game.
angepeilt und das musste ich heute nochmal prüfen und von meiner Seite aus sieht das gut aus.
Ja,
Apparently
dann morgen gleiche Uhrzeit, oder?
Können wir machen.
tomorrow, same time.
Ja, da bin ich dann
Game
auch dabei.
2.
Und ja.
I'll be casting it as
Nochmal
well.
zu casten.
Morgen
Yeah,
Abend
today is
ist
Wednesday, so I will definitely be casting that.
immer noch.
Ja.
Wenn es dann auch 2 Spiele oder wie sieht es um Game 3 aus?
Ich würde erstmal bei allem zusagen.
Jupp,
Okay.
ich auch.
Okay, ja, dann
It will be
können wir
only
uns
one game
auf
for now.
morgen freuen, wenn ihr in die zweite Runde gehen werdet.
And with that,
Ja, und insofern wären wir dann jetzt hier für heute, glaube ich, fertig.
Ja, they're ending off.
Termin fürs Finale können wir, glaube ich, auch noch nicht so ganz
Nee.
sagen, wann es stattfinden wird.
Yeah, it's about like final right
sind wir
now.
noch in Verhandlungen und Einigungen darüber.
Not 100%
Man
sure
kann auf jeden
when.
Fall sagen, entweder kommendes Wochenende oder übernächstes Wochenende. Also das in, was ist denn das dann?
Okay, so what we can tell right now already is final will be
Ja, wir wollen
either
ja schon
this weekend
dich als Caster haben.
or the
Genau,
weekend
leider
after
am
that.
Wochenende vom
I know.
6. bis 8.
Either this weekend or the
März
weekend
und,
after the
dann
next.
in der Lage sein, meine Spiele zu casten.
So in
Der
two
Plan ist ja,
in
das
2
sind
weeks,
2
like
auf
14th,
folgenden Tagen, aber
13th
das
to
ist
15th, somewhere there. 13th to 15th of
wie wir
March.
dann eben kommendes
Or it's this
Wochenende
weekend
oder
already.
in-
And that kind of like this weekend would only be possible if
Also es wird dran
match
gearbeitet,
4
hier
place
die
3 is
Einigung
already
zu
done,
finden
because
und wir
that is the
werden
thing
euch
that is
da dann auf jeden
we
Fall
don't want the final to be
Ja.
that the third place to be
Insofern sehen wir
decided
uns
after
dann
the
morgen
winner
20
is
Uhr wieder im
decided.
zweiten Spiel
Would have been
zwischen
would be a little
Lemon
bit
und
sad.
Jensen.
So we're kind of waiting on that a
Bis
bit.
dahin wünsche ich euch noch einen schönen Abend. Bis morgen.
And yeah, they signed off already. With that, I mean, I've said anything, everything as well. What they said, like it's when the next matches are gonna happen. I'll be casting tomorrow, same time. Second match of Jessen versus Lemon. Excited to see, especially as Lemon has his main civilization, the civilization he's the best without for sure. Jessen tends to say that his Trojan is the best civ as well. I would generally say that he is a much better player at all the civilizations Lemon is. So seeing a second civ off of him, I think should be more in favor for Jessen than for Lemon. And that might give us a game 3, and that, same thing. So, we saw how close it was today. Maybe Jessen can still win this. And with that, I see some ads, which is very unfortunate, but I'll send it off anyways. I hope you all had a great time. And till tomorrow, with game 2, hopefully you will all be back. And bye bye.